It's my pleasure, as always, to spend this hour of the morning with you, this hour of the day with you as time progresses. As I am speaking, as each and every one of our hearts is beating one more ounce of blood to allow us all to thrive and to live. We all live in various conditions and various means of quality. There's many of those that live on the streets of San Francisco that literally lives on the streets of San Francisco, thrives on the streets of San Francisco. And many of you live in the tallest towers that almost reach the sky, and then everything in between. Many of you are surrounded by more love than you can handle, and in some cases resent all the love that is expressed onto you. And many of you can only remember the last time you felt love, you felt acknowledged, you felt recognized, you felt that somebody was there for you. So at this time that we are celebrating, we are in the celebratory spirit of these grand holidays. These grand holidays that inspire us to crisscross the globe, the world, the state, the city, to spend time with each other. Maybe that one time per year. Maybe it's a continuous meeting that you have with folks that are important to you. Maybe it's a time of the year where you feel completely isolated with your own solitude, that may be by choice or by default. But so much emphasis is put on celebration, being thankful. But on a grander scheme, the engine of our society is inspiring us to consume, because it's supposed to make your life better off. That is supposed to make you happy, to consume. And yes, it's nice to have things. It makes life more qualitative to have things. And however you define quality for you, you choose those things that make you comfortable. Because one of the things I've noticed living in San Francisco, even folks that do thrive on the streets of the city, they have things, lots of things, that they're transporting in trucks and wagons and carriages, and they're accumulating all these things that make them feel at home. So it's something about the human spirit. There's something about the human psyche where we must have things to define our sense of a purpose and peace. It's a status thing for, in many cases, what things represent. But I think at its most holistic and natural state, things give us a sense of solace and comfort. So I think that is the importance of having things. But outside of the consumer aspect of this time of the year, it's a time where many people may feel, again, isolated and withdrawn because maybe that someone that you love dearly is not living today. They have passed on. Or maybe that someone that you were deeply connected with have moved to another part of the region of the world where you can only use means of electronic communication to connect with one another. Maybe you were struck by a divorce that caused separation within your personal life. Or terminal illness, where that person is not capable of participating in the social world that they once had but they're still present. They're still there. So this is the interesting time because things are revved up for the sense of celebration. When you see advertisements on television and with the newspapers, it's all about gathering with the family because that is what this time of the year is supposed to represent. So many of you and many of us still celebrate in that nature of connecting with friends and family. Again, people that mean something to us. But if that's no longer part of your life, either by choice or by default, where does that leave you? Where does that leave you to sit within your solace of solitude, your sense of maybe wanting to connect? Maybe it's important that you disconnect. But whatever you do during this holiday season, whatever this season, this time of the year means to you, the best you can do for yourself is find meaning in it. Whatever that means to you, whatever. Because that's what really gives us purpose in life, is when we find meaning in something. When we can find meaning in situations and opportunities and celebratory natures, connections with one another. That improves one's sense of quality of life because one is connected to something that means something to you. So whatever this means, this season means to you, the happy holidays, find meaning in it. Find purpose so that you can have a better sense of yourself, a more balanced approach to the entire time. Because one of the things that I have learned time and time again, and it's one of those things that I am quick to remember, but even quicker to forget, is that if I walk through situations disgruntled, disconnected, unappreciative, skeptical, and cynical, at the end of the day I realize it served no purpose. It may have seemed important at that very moment, but when it's all said and done, and the clock elapses, I ask myself, well, what did you gain from that sense of disconnecting yourself? What did you gain by being cynical? What did you gain